Three, two, one, action. Welcome back to episode 30 of As Seen on Screen. I'm Gracie.
And I'm Nicole, and we're your source for entertainment news, reviews, conversations, and more.
You can find us wherever you watch or listen to your podcasts on Spotify or YouTube.
Yes, welcome back to another week. We are so happy you are joining us again. Thank you for tuning in. We have lots of fun announcements with some upcoming releases. We have lots of renewal news for different shows and series on streaming. So let's jump right into it. Gracie, what is our first piece of news today?
Yeah. First off, we have an untitled J.J. Abrams feature. They've announced some new casting for it. So we have Emma Mackey, Glenn Powell, Jenna Ortega, and most recently, Samuel L. Jackson is now a part of this mix. I think this is such a cool mix of people. Love Jenna Ortega, love Glenn Powell. I love everyone in this, and I think it'll be super exciting to see them all work together, especially with the big years and careers they've been having pretty recently.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's funny right now. I keep getting a lot of Gracie Abrams TikToks on my For You page, and everyone in the comments being like, wait, she's related to JJ Abrams? Wait, JJ Abrams is her dad? And I was like, guys, where have you been?
It's literally the last name. Let's put two and two together, people. She's a Nepo baby, but she's a talented Nepo baby, so acceptable. Anyway, what is next on our list, Nicole?
Bad Guys 2. So I don't know anyone who was a diehard fan of Bad Guys 1, but Bad
That's
Guys 2.
deadly.
But also, we're not the age demographic for this, so that could be definitely why. But
That's
Bad Guys 2 was announced. Its expected release date is August 1st, 2025. So if you are a fan of the first one out there somewhere, don't worry, next summer you are getting a sequel.
This is like the most backhanded I've ever heard you be about a movie, and I love it because usually that's me. But yeah, I went to the movies yesterday, and out of nowhere, they played the trailer for the second one, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's just such a random, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
there's a lot of random movies coming out, to be honest. Like when I was sitting down watching all these trailers in the theater, I was like, what? What is this?
yeah.
But anyway, moving on, Prime Video and Mr. Beast have announced that Beast Games is officially premiering. I know it's been long awaited by all of his fans and followers. So that is coming to Prime Video December 19th. For context, it is where he holds a game with 1,000 players, only one winner, and a $5 million cash prize. So
That is quite cutthroat to be one out of 1,000 in this
you
game.
know what? To hear that this is actually still coming out after all the controversy that's gone on with this is crazy. So I am excited to watch it because apparently it was a very, no shock to anyone, hostile environment, especially with $5 million on the line. But the people who are in it are now saying it was a very aggressive environment, not safe for the contestants at all, and just an overall bad time. So I would be mad too if I didn't win $5 million. But we'll see how much of this is true when the game comes to Prime Video.
I mean, the odds are against you.
For
In
real.
one
This is like
1,000, the odds are way, way too.
the best way I can describe this is like the Hunger Games, but
Yeah,
with money.
and way more people.
Yeah, like yours is not gonna win. Like I'm delusional, but I'm not that delusional.
Well, also in renewal, we got an announcement from Netflix and the BBC. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was renewed for season 2. So, fans of that show as well, you have a second season coming. I know a lot of people are fans of that show. It's one I have not had a chance to watch yet, but I have wanted to see it because I always hear stuff about the book on Book Talk. Also, haven't had a chance to read the book, so I'm really just behind on this one. But very excited to hear that there is a season 2 coming for all the fans of that show.
Yeah, I know. I refuse to watch this show until I read the book, so I will not be watching it for a while because I'm still trying to get through the second Fourth Wing book, and that's huge for those of you who don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I love the cast, and I think all the fans that I've seen are like super passionate about it. So good job for you guys.
Yes, and speaking of Netflix shows that have a big following, last year we saw My Life with the Walter Boys, I believe last December, so almost a year ago now. And they have just wrapped production and filming for season two, and they also announced five new reoccurring cast members, including Natalie Sharp, Carson McCormick, Janet Kidler, Rael Downs, and Jake Manley. So we don't have a release date for it yet. They just finished filming. So, but My Life with the Walter Boys season two is coming, which I'm so excited about. I cannot wait. The cliffhanger was deadly. I need more. I need them to come back.
Cliffhanger, deadly, but also their Halloween costume was so iconic.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Yes.
still not past that. Yes. Anyway,
It
I'm
was
I'm excited for
so good.
drama.
Right. I saw an interview. I don't know, the three of them must have been doing some sort of interview, press stuff going on, and the interviewer asked them about their Halloween costume, and it was
They were basically like making a joke out of it. And I was like, wow, you guys are even more iconic now that you're like laughing about your Halloween costume.
yeah, Ashby was like, he's like, oh yeah, it was my idea, or so he's like, we just and then Nikki's just like, what is happening?
For real. Nikki was like, look, I'm just trying to channel Zendaya. You two do whatever you want to do. But also the resemblance of like the actual cast of challengers, kind of scary. Like, I guess it's because they're blonde and brunette, but I was like, whoa.
That was good.
I
You guys
never would
did
have
that.
thought of that, but like props to them for coming up with that and making it look realistic. So yeah, that's my little rant about the Walter boys. Also in announcements, Camila Monroe and Adam DeMarco have been cast to lead a new Netflix limited series from the Duffer Brothers, who created Stranger Things, and Haley Z. Boston, and it's titled Something Very Bad is Going to Happen. Not much is known about it right now, other than the fact that it's going to Netflix, which makes sense because Stranger Things was so successful for them. But it is rumored to be about a wedding that obviously goes very bad. So I'm excited for this one. I love the Duffer Brothers. I think they have such a creative take to um all of their projects. So I'm excited to see what scary things they come up with now. Also in renewal news, EXO Kitty, which was renewed before, has officially got its release date for January 16th, 2025. So if you are a fan of this show or of To All the Boys I Loved Before, this is exciting news. It's coming pretty soon.
I wish we were getting another To All the Boys I Loved Before. I know there's no more books, so I know it won't be off that dick anymore. But you know what? I loved those movies. I thought for like a Netflix production, sometimes those movies are a little iffy, but I thought they did a really good job with To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still behind on those. I haven't watched the last one.
You have not? What? Okay.
Okay, wait. It was one of those ones where I watched the first two and I was like, okay, this is really good. I really want to read the books before I watch the rest of them. So I never got around to reading the books. So I never got around to watching them. So yeah,
This is just wrong.
we'll get around to it eventually. It's just not right now.
Wow. This is just sad. But
I feel like we need to have a tally of like all of the movies and TV shows that I haven't watched that you're just like thoroughly disappointed about.
I'm just sitting here being like,
Anyway, moving on.
So, moving into music news just for a moment, Miley Cyrus is releasing a new album in 2025 titled Something Beautiful. And of course, over the past few years, we've had, not, well, over this year, we've had a few releases from her and single wise. So, I'm excited to hear a full album from Miss Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, and I've also heard rumors this is gonna be like a visual album. So I'm excited to see what she creates. She's just so iconic. I feel like I've been saying the word iconic so much this episode, but like Miley Cyrus is our childhood, like Hannah Montana, going through all her different phases and now becoming this amazing woman. I'm here for whatever she releases.
Yeah.
Moving back into TV and movie news, we talked a bit about Euphoria season 3 last episode, or a few episodes ago. I think it was last episode.
Last episode, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Casting update, Stormy Reed will not be returning for season 3, which is super upsetting considering she was such a huge part of this show, playing Zendaya's character's little sister. I love her as an actress. I think she's so talented. Breaks my heart she won't be in this season, but she does seem very excited for to see what comes from this season. So, fans of Euphoria, I don't know if you're disappointed by this, but I go back to our point of maybe we should just cut our losses and not do a season 3.
Yeah, you know what? I was honestly reading something interesting and I realized season one came out in 2019, I believe, and then we had season two in 2022. So that was 3 years apart. So like as it stands right now, let's pretend if it did like obviously filming starting in January 2025. But it's not even going to be that far off from the gap of season one to two, from season two to three almost, to be honest, because it'll just be 3 years in January or early next year. So I'm sure they're saying they still are hoping the season will come out in 2025. Of course, it'll be later as they're filming in early 2025, but their hope they have said in interviews is still to release it in 2025. So if it does, it might only not even be a year off from what the gap we saw with the first two seasons are. So we always talk about how, like, at this point, what's the point? But I'm like, oh, it's not even that far off from season one to two.
I think the thing that makes it feel so far off is the fact that it's had so many like iffy moments where they're like, oh, it's not happening. Oh, it's happening. Oh, casting isn't working. Oh, it's working now. So the amount that it's been in the news, I think has made it seem longer or more like dragged on than it actually has been.
That's fair. That's true. Also in movie news, I know something Gracie was very excited about when she sent it to me. Anne Hathaway has been cast as the lead Verity in based on the book Verity, in Amazon MGM's upcoming adaptation of the Colleen Hoover novel. So I haven't read the book. Gracie has. I love anything Anne Hathaway does, so I'm on board with this. But Gracie has the book lover's perspective. So are you excited about this?
I literally, you can go back to the other episode where I was like, I am stressed about casting. Y'all gotta do justice to this after the whole It Ends With Us debacle. I'm so happy with this though. I didn't know, when you don't know it, but as soon as they put a name to a face, you're like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't picture Anne Hathaway when I was reading it, but now seeing her attached to this role, it just makes sense to me and it just works. Um, I'm excited to see the rest of the cast because that'll be very dependent on how they work with Anne and the storyline. I enjoyed the book. Was it my favorite Colleen Hoover? No, but it was definitely one that took you for a ride. So I'm excited to see how they bring this to life while still paying homage and being respectful to the book that Colleen has created. So, and I also love Anne Hathaway, so like the Queen of Genovia can do no wrong.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
Also, it's Amazon. Let's be so real. Her and Nicholas Galitzine are stuck in that Amazon contract.
They are there. They are cemented with Amazon.
Anyway, another exciting announcement that I was not expecting. I don't know if you were expecting this, but Jason Kelce announced that he is getting his own late night talk show starting in January 2025. And honestly, I don't think there's anyone more fit to have their own late night show than Jason Kelce because he's so entertaining on the New Heights podcast, obviously that he does with Travis. And then when he's commentating football, he's very lively. So I'm so excited to see this. But also on exciting announcements for him, he and Kylie announced that they're expecting their fourth little girl.
Yes, very exciting. I loved their announcement post that they did for it. But swinging back to the talk show for a sec. So it's called They Call It Late Night with Jason Kelce. It'll air on January 3rd, 4th. It airs at 1 a.m. So that Friday, Saturday night, overnight hours. a.m. on ESPN. They'll also be on ESPN Plus and ESPN and Jason Kelce's YouTube channels. So it'll air from Philadelphia, be filmed live there, obviously, and NFL Films is producing the show. So I think it's very interesting. Like you said, never would have guessed that. But you know what? Honestly, I can totally see it. He
Yeah,
seems very fit for like the late night talk show thing. I watched his interview where he announced it on Jimmy Kimmel last week, and he just fits right into that atmosphere. He has that comedic personality to him that I think is perfect for something like a late night talk show. So I'm very excited to see what that's all about. And everyone's loving him on Monday night right now. He's an analyst on Monday Night Countdown. So very exciting.
I feel like we need to add it to our goal list to go to a taping of this.
Let's just go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Oh
Yeah.
my
We
goodness.
went
But
to Texas.
this is true. This is true. But like for a festival, not just for a
We
taping of
could
the
make a festival out of it. We could just go and see stuff and make content. So maybe.
amazing. But yeah, I agree. The announcement for their fourth was so cute. I saw it on Instagram first, and then she also put it on TikTok. She had another video. It was like a flashback thing of she's like when she was responding to rumors of people saying she was pregnant, and she was like, "No, I'm done." And then she like put the video of the three girls over it, and she's like, "Never mind."
Stating that I am pregnant. I'm not. I'm not.
Let's go, girls.
Yeah, famous last words, she said. But yeah, congrats to them. I love their family. I think they're so cute. And the little girls all having different reactions just is so funny. I feel like Wyatt is so done. She's just like,
I was gonna say, as an older sister, I
but
understand what.
I'm like, girl, I'm sending you my thoughts and prayers. I get it.
Oh, goodness. Well, moving back into some music news, Juno's 2025 are coming around the corner fast. They are in March, or sorry, yeah, March 2025. They are hosted in Vancouver this year, and they have announced that Michael Bublé will be hosting the show. He's returning. Last time he hosted the award show was in 2018. This will be his third time overall hosting. Of course, Mr. Bublé is a Canadian music icon, so this is very exciting. And he is also from BC as well. So very exciting, very full circle moment. So the awards are set to air on March 30th. They are from Vancouver's Rogers Arena, and it'll air on CBC TV, CBC Gem, CBC Radio 1, and a whole bunch of other CBC pages and social media channels.
All the CBCs. Staying with music news, this is always a huge event for music lovers and a very long-awaited announcement. Coachella 2025 lineup has been revealed, and the three main artists that will be taking main stage are Lady Gaga, Green Day, and Post Malone. And Travis Scott will be doing like the after party type stuff, but main three, Lady Gaga, Green Day, Post Malone. I I feel like this is such a good lineup. I mean, I personally would never go to Coachella. My anxiety would be way too high, and it's just so hectic from what I've heard. But these are all great artists. Joining Lady Gaga, you have Missy Elliott, Benson Boone, Lisa, FK Twigs, lots of other amazing artists if you want to see the full lineup. Green Day has Charlie XCX, Anita, T-Pain, just like the craziest mix of people. And then Post Malone has Megan Thee Stallion, Zed, Jenny, Biba Doobie, and some other amazing artists. So I'll put the picture in here, but if you want to know the full lineup of all these amazing artists, make sure to check out their website for more information.
Yeah, and this year, is it always the case that it happens over 2 weekends? So the first weekend is Friday, April 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then the following weekend on Friday, April 18th, 9th, and then Saturday 19th, Sunday the 20th. So yeah, that is Coachella 2025. Honestly, it comes up so fast every year. Like thing is, this year flew by so fast, in my opinion, that I'm like, wasn't it just Coachella? And now it's November and it's happening in April, and I'm like, well.
Honestly, this feels like the Met Gala, but for music, because like I'm always looking at the outfits and I'm looking at the performers and their outfits and just the overall vibes. So I'm excited. I'll be supporting it from all the way over here
All the way in Ontario, Canada.
because I I don't know. Could you go in the desert for that many days with that many people?
I don't think so. I mean, like, and the only music festival I've been to is Boots and Hearts. And like, I mean, it's a lot, but I still have fun. But then after the weekend's over, I'm like, this is I'm good for another year for sure.
Yeah, but that's
So
also in Canada too. You're like
that's
going in
what I'm
the
saying.
middle of
Yeah.
nowhere for
Yeah.
Coachella.
Coachella is like a whole nother level. So I feel like maybe not.
If you're going, have fun. If you're not, watch the Britney live streams.
Oh goodness. Well, moving in to our watches and listens of the week. What is your watch of the week, Gracie?
I think we're doing it this week, Nicole. I think we got Glicked.
I'm so excited about this. Okay, what is your review of Wicked?
So, for those who don't know, Glicked is out now. It's Gladiator 2 and Wicked. I saw Wicked, Nicole saw Gladiator 2, so together we complete the ensemble. But Wicked, I've never seen the play. It's always just been either too expensive or I haven't been in town when it's been in town. That being said, I did really enjoy it. It was so beautifully made, and the effort and precision that went into creating this is like astronomical. I will say though, unpopular opinion, I feel like it was very overhyped because
Really?
I loved it. Don't get me wrong. We'll be watching it again. But unpopular opinion, it could have been fit into one movie because the play itself is like 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the movie is around 2 hours and 30 minutes. But if you had made it 3 hours or like 3.5 hours, we could have easily gotten everything in one. Because for me right now, Wicked Part 1 feels a lot like Mockingjay Part 1, where it just dragged along for the longest time. And then the last like hour, half hour was the best thing I've ever seen in cinema. So I'm upset. Like, I get you have to let people know who these characters are, give them a backstory, understandable. But the thing that I heard actually a lot coming out of my theater, because I like to listen when people are leaving, is it felt like it dragged on a lot until the end. So I was glad that I wasn't the only person who felt that way, but the performances, stellar. Like there were so many times where I was sitting there and I don't know why, but I was just trying not to cry because it just hit so emotionally and you could tell that it was such an important role for everybody involved. I was like, I'm gonna start crying. I can't do this. But yeah, so I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I do just feel like it did drag on and there were parts that weren't needed, but I'll give it the 4 out of 5 because everything else was amazing.
Love it. I am seeing it later this week, and I'm very excited. And I'm trying to avoid spoilers at all cost because I keep seeing articles, and I'm like, no, it's Sunday. It
Dude.
just came out.
But I tell you, I won't spoil it for you, but like I audibly gasped at like two parts where I was like, whoa, is this what it's like to see a movie without it getting spoiled before you go? Like I've never had this experience. Usually it's always spoiled for me.
Oh
Um,
no.
so yeah, try and avoid spoilers if you're going.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how was Gladiator
I was
2?
about to say, on to the other half of Glicked. I went and saw Gladiator 2 the other day. I also gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
Wow, look at us being controversial.
Right? No, listen, well, most people I know gave it like 3.5 stars, so I wasn't like that far off from them.
Okay.
Um, I think like it's just very daunting to have to create a sequel to something that was such a classic 24 years ago, nonetheless. I think a decision to make a sequel to that Gladiator, the original Gladiator, was a big decision. And some people, of course, maybe think it's not the right decision. Some people think it is. That is totally a personal opinion. I do enjoy, obviously, I enjoy the first Gladiator. Of course, it is a classic. I remember watching it like in history class in high school at some point. I rewatched it before I went and saw Gladiator 2. I enjoyed Gladiator 2 a lot. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought it was very fast-paced, which was nice. They crammed a lot into 2.5 hours, which again, I think is the point of criticism for some people. The fight scenes in the Colosseum aren't overly long. There's many of them, so maybe that was part of the decision not to make them too long and they fit more into it. Personally, I thought the ending was slightly anticlimactic. Like, I enjoyed what they did. I enjoyed how they ended it, but I thought they maybe could have made it bigger. Like, there was a lot ramping up to it, and then it just kind of happened, and then it was basically done. And it wasn't like a bad ending or anything. I just thought maybe they could have made it slightly bigger in what they did with it. I don't know what that would look like necessarily. Like it's not like I have an idea of what they should have done. But it just felt a little as as it ended. But it didn't really take away from the overall enjoyment I had watching this film. Like again, like these films aren't usually like I don't gravitate to movies with like historical backgrounds and references and things like that. It's not usually my thing. But I really, really enjoyed this film. I'm laughing as I'm reading all the letterboxd reviews of it. And one thing that I noticed, and it seems like a lot of people did, is there's sharks come up somewhere in this movie. They filled the Colosseum with sharks in one of the fights. And everyone's like, where would they have gotten sharks in the middle of ancient Rome? Like,
It's
where
art. It's art.
where were they? Like, how was that occurring? Um, that was kind of really funny. And a lot of people are making jokes about that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, as people are saying, Denzel Washington is a powerhouse in this film. I thought Paul Mescal did an amazing job. Pedro Pascal did a great job. Love Joseph Quinn and Fred Heshinger. I don't love their characters. They were annoying to no end, but their acting was great. I loved that. So it was very, very gruesome. Lots of blood, as you would expect in a Gladiator movie. And I think the way they tied into the first movie was respectful. Um, if you don't know, I mean, the whole plot of the movie is that Paul Mescal's character is the son of Russell Crowe's character from the first film. That is the whole premise of the movie. So yeah, I think they did a very good job of like leaving the first movie alone and not messing with what happened in that movie and respectfully referencing it in this first or in the second movie that did it in a way that made sense, but also just didn't impede on what the classicness of the first movie is. So yeah, I say go see it in the theater. This is like both movies, Wicked and Gladiator, are 100% best seen in the theater. They're made for a movie theater theatrical experience. So go check them out now. Like we said, they're both in the theater. They were last weekend they came out, so just don't miss your chance to see at least one of them. Whatever one is more up your alley, if you're not into one or the other, go see one of them because they're just so, so great to see.
Definitely. And moving on to our songs of the week. What was your song of the week, Nicole?
My song of the week, I'm gonna choose two because I've been listening to them quite a few. Both from Sabrina Carpenter, A Nonsense Christmas and then Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do. Both great songs. I love it. I've been listening to my Christmas playlist nonstop, of course, over the past few weeks. She also is coming out with her Nonsense Christmas special on Netflix. That comes out December 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So just kind of getting into the spirit for that. Very excited. I love her Christmas songs. So yeah.
You know what? I was gonna say one song, but now that you've said a Christmas song, I feel like I have to say a Christmas song. So you got me. Um, I am loving Jingle Bells. No. Okay, here's my problem. I thought it was a different title because it's specifically the Jingle Bells by Megan Trainor and her son Riley. I think it is the cutest thing ever. He's so cute. But for some reason, I think I was focusing on his voice more than I was focusing on what the actual song was. So, Jingle Bells by Megan Trainor. It's off a very Trainor Christmas, her Christmas album. Highly recommend it if you haven't listened to it. It's got some originals, it's got some classics. So, yeah.
Okay, well, this is almost the end. So of course, we have to end with our upcoming releases. We have quite a few this week, so
Mm.
bear with us for a second because there is a lot coming out. But the only theatrical release we have is actually something that came out yesterday and Wednesday, November 27th. We missed that to talk about last week, so we'll talk about it here. It is out in theaters now, but Moana 2, the sequel to, I would say, a classic Disney film, has become a very classic Disney film for sure, the first Moana. But yes, we have the sequel is out yesterday. Basically, the IMDb plot says after receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. We see Moana, we see Maui, of course, and then we find a few new characters along the way. I just hope we see Hey Hey. I,
Of
I
course
love
we
Hey
see
Hey.
Hey Hey. Why would we not see Hey Hey?
I love Hey Hey, so we got to see him. And also I love that she has a sister in this movie. This sister in the trailer is so cute. And also along with it, not an upcoming release, but this past week we got the first look at the live action Moana that they're filming. If you saw, there was photos from set with Dwayne Johnson in his Maui outfit. Uh, so yeah, we have that to look forward to. I believe in 2026, the live action Moana is coming out. So yes, you can see Moana 2 in theaters now. In the meantime, while you wait.
Next up in our upcoming releases, we have The Madness, which is a new Netflix limited series coming out November 28th. IMDb says it is about media personnel Muncie Daniels, who must fight to prove his innocence after stumbling upon a murder in the Poconos while trying to reconnect with his estranged family and his lost ideals. So, Coleman Domingo will be in this, and I'm excited to see him uh, in this type of role.
Absolutely. That's what I'm looking forward to. I forgot that was coming out and we were making this list this week and I was like, oh yeah, finally this week. But another one I'm very excited. Also, I forgot that this was coming out too because I remember when the trailer first came out, kind of forgot about it. But Sweethearts on Max, it is a new movie starring Kiernan Shipka and Nico Horaga that is coming out on Max, like I said, on November 28th. So today. IMDb says it follows two college freshmen when they pull a turkey dump and break up with their high school sweethearts over Drunksgiving, the one chaotic night before Thanksgiving in their hometown that puts their codependent friendship to the test. So the big question is, will their two characters get together after they break up with their high school sweethearts? Probably.
We're sitting
But
here,
we'll
we're
just
like,
have to
definitely.
we'll just have to watch the movie to see because maybe they'll pull the unexpected. You never know.
Coming to Netflix on November 29th, we have Senna, which is a biographical limited series. It follows the career of the racing legend and a national hero in Brazil, who is now a three-time winner of the Formula One World Drivers' Championships. So, for anyone who's into racing or Formula One, this is for you.
Also on Netflix on the 29th, we have This Snow Sister. It is a new movie. According to IMDb, the film follows a young boy named Christian, whose Christmas Eve birthday turned sad with the death of his sister, when it sends his household into mourning. And it isn't until he meets Christmas-loving Hedwig that he begins to believe in Christmas and its magic again.
Also on November 29th, we have Beatles 64, which is a Disney Plus documentary film, obviously on the Beatles and their career.
Moving on, we also have lots of stuff coming out on the 29th. On the 29th on Disney Plus, we have Nutcrackers, also will be out on Hulu in the States. It is a new movie starring Ben Stiller. Gracie and I actually both saw this back in September. It was at the Toronto International Film Festival. We also both interviewed Ben Stiller for this film, so that is coming out very shortly. It follows four siblings, I believe there was in the film. Was there four of them? Yeah, four siblings. So Ben Stiller is like the rich uncle. He lives in the city. I believe he works in real estate. He then has to go to the countryside to help out his four nieces and nephews after the passing of their parents, and basically learns to come into this like father figure uncle role over the holidays. They live in a small town, so he's learning to blend in now with this small town folk, learning how to be the uncle father figure. And it's all around Christmas. So lots going on in this
Love.
film. Oh, and I mean, the biggest thing about this film that I'm forgetting is that he finds out that the kids are trained in classical ballet. Their mother taught them classical ballet. So that also comes into the film a little bit later. But yeah.
And last up on our list, we have The Agency, which is coming to Paramount Plus. The first two episodes will be out on November 29th. And this follows a covert CIA agent who is ordered to abandon his undercover life and return to London Station. When the love he left behind reappears, his romance obviously reignites, and we get a lot of drama and romance.
So lots to watch this weekend, whether it's in the theater, you go and see Moana 2. If you're staying at home, tons on streaming across Disney and Hulu and Netflix. So go watch it all. So much to watch, and let us know what you think. But that brings us to the end of episode 30 of As Seen on Screen. As always, thank you so, so much for tuning in. I'm Nicole.
I'm Gracie, and you can watch or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify or YouTube.
Yes, and we'll be back same time next week, so we'll see you then. Bye!